What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fomo Factory. Happy Monday. Have a nice start of the new week. I wanted to post my how to use TradingView crypto video yesterday, but I couldn't, so I will drop that tomorrow. Today, I would like to admit that I was probably wrong on something. What was I exactly a little wrong about? Well, I said in a couple of videos that there is a big chance that altcoins might come down, right? And of course, I'm not wrong about the fact that there is a chance, but for the people that implied it as like, okay, altcoins are going to drop, well, I'm starting to turn a little more bullish lately, and I'm going to show you exactly why. So for the people holding altcoins, this might be pretty interesting to watch. Welcome to the Fomo Factory. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, feel free to do so. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers already in, what, 2 months? So thank you guys so much. I would like to take a look at the crypto market today. Now it's Monday. The Fed is gonna come out with, you know, the new raising of their interest rate. So everybody kind of expects a 75 basis point hike. We have to see, I guess, that when that's the expectation, it won't really change anything, to be honest, because everybody is kind of talking about that and expecting that. So that's kind of already priced in. And of course, at the moment it comes out, we might see a little, you know, move down or move up. You know, if it's 75, you know, points, then I guess that we might see a very quick move down, maybe. But in my opinion, that's going to be more like a fake out or anything, and not like, okay, this is now going down and it's going to stay there and all that. I think it's not that bad. If it somehow turns out to be 50, yeah, then I can see Bitcoin shooting pretty much up to around, like, well, this is the right area, to around 21.6. But we have to see about that. I don't think this is going to do that much. Crypto is turning a little bit more bullish lately, and I see more people talking about, like, okay, the bottom might be in, the bottom might be in. And yeah, the bottom might be in. That's what we've been saying for a long time. I'm pretty, you know, I was 50-50. I'm leaning more towards, I'm 60% sure that the bottom is in and 40% sure that the bottom is not in. And I want to prepare for both scenarios, and that's what we're going to do right here. But I mainly also want to talk about altcoins, because altcoins are looking quite bullish. Look, and to be very quick about this, Bitcoin is starting to get a little overbought. If we put it on the weekly stochastic RSI, you'll see that it's now in the overbought territory. So I wouldn't go crazy here, but you know, this wouldn't be the first time that it enters the overbought territory, stays there for a long time, and in the meantime Bitcoin goes up quite a lot. You also see another drawing on this chart, and this is the drawing. This is where I will be coming back at, because this is the point. These two lines are going to determine when the bull market is about to come, in my opinion. Why do I say that? Well, this is the pi cycle bottom indicator. And the pi cycle bottom indicator, as you may know, has been accurate like crazy, right? And the pi cycle bottom indicator is basically when these two moving averages cross, right? So if the red line crosses underneath the green line, like here, we have the bottom. That's the lowest point usually, and depending on the exchange, we had a little fake out right here, which was technically just a little, you know, lower low, but yeah, it wasn't like that big of a difference. So the bottom was in here, right? When these crossed, well, that's what we have seen a couple of months back, right? If we go to where we are today, there is a button to go strictly to today. I don't know where it is, whatever. If we go to where we are right now, you'll see that we have this pi cycle bottom indicator. And yes, that's because these two lines crossed in July, right? So that's almost half a year ago. That's usually the bottom single, but there's also the parabola, and the parabola, it basically says when things are starting to go back up, and that's when these lines crosses again. But that's when the red line crosses from, you know, underneath the green line, right? So it's the different direction. Here the red line comes from above, here the red line comes from the downside, right? This is where it crosses, and usually when that happens, you'll see, well, they call it parabolic. It's not necessarily that parabolic. It's more like, it's a year before the halving right here. And that's pretty funny, because so far, every time a year before the halving, Bitcoin already goes up quite a bit. And after the halving, you know, maybe a little down, maybe a little nothing, but then it really goes parabolic. Like then we have the bull run, right? As we see right here, this was parabolic. This was not really parabolic if you zoom out, but still it did a 4x. Bitcoin did a 4x. So altcoins can go already crazy right here. But that's when these lines cross, right? So I was also looking at, okay, how much time is there in between this? Right, so this was in January 2015, and this cross was in September 2015. So there was 8 months, 9 months. Sorry. So the next time that happened was here. That was in the 2018-19 bear market, right? We had the pi cycle bottom indicator right here. It was a perfect bottom. And we had this indicator going off right here. And also when this indicator went off, it was already, Bitcoin was already way higher than when we got this signal, right? I mean, Bitcoin went basically from $3,200 up the moment we crossed. We were already sitting almost twice as high, right? So if that would repeat, it could be that we get this cross and this signal, this buying signal once Bitcoin hits 40K, right? That's possible, but it still will be a good place to buy it. But you know, keep that in mind. And in the meantime, where we are right now, somewhere here, right? We can go down. Like maybe we are here. Could be, and we go down a lot, right? This is possible, right? It could also be that we are already here. That's what we don't know, right? But this took us, this was in December 2018 up till April 2019, right? So that was around 4 months. So what I just checked out is like, okay, what's the average? And that's here. So we should get this cross in January 2023. So next year, right? That's in, well, 2 months basically is when we should get it. If we, you know, that's the average. I'm not saying that's when we will get it, but that's the average, right? So we had the cross right here in July. And in January will be the average. So I just draw this very ugly. Like, okay, this is how it should go, give or take. And then we could expect maybe the cross right here. That's when we start to, you know, maybe go up again towards the next halving, right? So yeah, I'm very curious to see if this is going to play out. I won't be surprised if this will take a little longer than average, that we will get it in around May, because that's a year before the halving. And so far, every time a year before the halving, Bitcoin starts to go up, right? So that's definitely possible that we'll see it by then. I mean, it's an average. It's not a certainty, right? It could take longer than average. That's why it's an average, right? So, but this is really important. This is what I'm keeping my eyes on. I just want to see these two lines cross. That's basically my bull market indicator. And if we look at this, like on this chart, like I already spoke about for months now, like, okay, we are starting to break out and we finally broke out of this diagonal downtrend. But if we put it on lock, it's a whole other chart, right? If we put it like that, and we draw this line, then we have it give or take like this, right? So it would make sense though that if we break out, like maybe we start to hover around here for a while, like, I don't know, something like this. We hover around this area. Sorry, the chart is a mess, right? But we hover around here. Right, and then when we get this cross, we finally get that breakout as well, and then we really break out of this trend as well. And you know, what are the signal do you want, right? And that's not saying that we get a bull market, you know, all of a sudden, but it at least means that the trend is completely changed. The bear market, like the downwards bear market, is at least over, and we are already, like, the longer this takes, the more I'm convinced we are out of the bear market, right? It's like we are really starting to you know, this is the accumulation phase in my opinion, right? And this is not a bad place to accumulate. And of course, we could get a wick down. It's possible. We don't know. But I won't necessarily call for like 14 or 12K Bitcoin or whatever anymore. Like, I think we had that chance. Also, we take a look at this. I'm not sure how this pattern is called anymore. A something with a pizza or a magnaphone, or I don't know. All I know, it's also kind of a falling wedge, right? And this is a very bullish pattern. So it's really, once we break out of this, then I think we will start to see some, like, then this market changes really. Then it really changes. So for now, there's no rush yet. We're still going sideways. I mean, even if we go to like 24K, like, yeah, that's nice, but we would still be going sideways if you zoom out a little bit, right? I mean, that's just this level right here and this level right here, like that 18 and a half is the bottom range, and that, like, I don't know, 25K is the top range of the level, and we haven't been in the top range of the level before. So once we get there, I expect a lot of people to be super bullish and be like, oh, bull market, relief rally. Yeah, it will be a little relief rally, but we're technically still in that range, so nothing changes if that happens. If we really, you know, break that, like, well, in my opinion, this level right here, right? We had support here, resistance here. So if we break like 27 and we confirm that, we close there, then I think we really start to see the run up again. Like, I don't know when we could officially call it a bull market, but I think like that will take a while. I mean, maybe halfway next year, somewhere like that we get like signs of the beginning of the run up again. But it depends also on what the Fed does and how the macro is looking by then. But that's for Bitcoin. It's looking better. It's looking better. But I'm not ruling out that we can go back to 18K or like 24K. Like, everything, like I said, in there is range. But I do want to show you some other things before I dive into the altcoin market, because the altcoin market is looking quite interesting. So I'll get to that. Also, what we talked about before, the DXY is following this range, right? And we broke out of that. We basically, you know, perfectly in this support point right here, we bounced there. That's not what we want. If we want Bitcoin to go up, of course, but you know, we went up. We didn't necessarily test this level again, but we went down again. And now it's just looking like, okay, what's going to happen? Like, it's a big week this week. So I will be cautious. I won't be really aping into stuff yet. I will see how the market is going. Because it's basically that the DXY could hover around this level and this level. And that's quite of a big range. But I like to see where it goes. And if it hovers for a while, then I don't expect Bitcoin to do much as well. But if it breaks back up here, test and go back up, yeah, then we see another DXY bull run, and then I expect Bitcoin to go lower. I don't know if that's going to happen though. What also is possible is that we go down and that we finally break that. That will be very bullish for Bitcoin, and I think that we could see the DXY go down to around 1.17, maybe even 1.4 if we're really lucky. And that if this happens, then I think Bitcoin will come close to around 30K, to be honest. But please make no mistake, even if Bitcoin will hit 30K, like, we could still call that a relief rally, right? Like, don't be like, oh shit, bull run back, I have to deploy now. Like, I'm in these Telegram groups, and every time Bitcoin is up a little bit, I see people talking about buying stuff. Like, it should be the other way around, but that's just not how human psychologically cycle works, right? Sorry, I'm Dutch. So, but it's looking better than it's have been in the last like couple of months, basically. Before we get into the really interesting charts, I want to show you something else. That's Ethereum. Ethereum also kind of broke out. If we take it off log and we pull it up here, and let me remove this. This is for the Ethereum bulls. This is quite good. Like, sorry, I'm still sick. It doesn't go away for 4 weeks now. It's crazy. But we were in this downfall as well for Ethereum, just the same since November all the way till now. But Ethereum also finally broke out of that, right? And what's quite funny for Ethereum, we did not only break out of this this diagonal line, but we also broke above this horizontal support. And now it looks like it's retesting that horizontal. And even if we break that, therefore that horizontal is that diagonal is so important, because even if we break this support of the horizontal, then we have another like kind of extra support line right there, right? Like, if this wasn't there, then Ethereum could have come down like all the way to like 1370 or something like that. I don't expect that to happen. Basically, I think Ethereum, if we break this, Ethereum will bounce off, give or take $1,500. Could be totally wrong, but that's my expectation. I don't see a lot of downside in Ethereum, to be honest, which is good for alts. Alts are more following Ethereum than Bitcoin, so that's quite of a good thing. Total market, let me take a look if there's something cool to find right here. What the hell happens to my fucking chart over here? This is crazy. Like sometimes I click a button and then bye. Right, so let me take a look how this looks. Okay, I have to put it like this. So let's see what we can make out of this. I haven't really messed around with this yet. So if we put this diagonal line my chart, like my trading view is kind of broken sometimes. I don't know what's wrong with it. Anyway, here we kind of go. This is the total market cap. And yeah, look. All right. So the total crypto market cap, right? This is looking quite interesting because also we went down from here. Yeah, it's kind of perfect, right? Got rejected here as well. And it looks like it depends on how I draw the line. Like if you draw a little off, you can basically see that this is perfect resistance. But on the other hand, if I draw it like I draw it now, then it seems like it's broken out of it. And that's really bullish. That's really bullish. So that's looking good. Now, what I wanted to talk about is this. That's the total 3. And the total 3 is the whole market except Bitcoin and Ethereum. So all altcoins basically, but except Ethereum, right? And this is the chart that I have been paying most interest to because I feel like, yeah, this is where most of my money is. Like I don't have most of my money in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this chart is kind of interesting, right? And what did I notice right here? Is like this yellow line right here. This is a very important support point, basically. And why did it like go in percentages? I have to fuck around with this. Oh, sorry. So what I find quite interesting is that this line, this yellow line, is big support, right? This was the resistance in 2017-18, slightly in 18. It was like, when it broke here, it was support in 2021. And, you know, this year, once the crypto market came down, this is where altcoins really bottomed out, right? And this was a relief rally from June up till August, right? So that was a quite nice rally. People made a lot of money out of that, right? But if we zoom out and we look at this complete chart, like, okay, this little thing already made us a lot of money. Let it go back, right? Or even higher. So that's going to be very interesting, of course, once the bull run comes. But now we went down again. Altcoins touched their lows again. Some made new lows, some didn't make new lows, but on average they exactly touched right there, and we bounced off of it again, right? Now that we bounced off of it again is already a bullish signal. But what's also quite of a bullish signal is that if you are a little into patterns, you see that it has like pretty much a perfect double bottom right here, right? Went down, bottom, up, bottom. And usually once a double bottom occurs, we see a very much bigger run after that. Is that what's going to happen? I don't know. No, maybe not. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball right here. But the thing is that these patterns usually are pretty accurate. So it's interesting to keep your eyes on this. So yeah, this is on the weekly. If you put it on the daily, yeah, you kind of see the same thing basically, but you can also put it like this, like we had a bottom right here, we had a bottom right here, we had a bottom right here, so we had a triple bottom and then we went up, right? It could also happen that happens again, right? That we do something like this, and then go up. So I'm not saying that it goes all up from now on. It could go down in the meantime, but I think some altcoins buying at the supports that they were already the last few months might not be that bad of an idea, to be completely honest. Now, keep in mind, on the daily, the stochastic RSI is quite overbought. With quite overbought, I mean really like heavily overbought. The last time it was that overbought, we came down, last time before that, when it was like maybe here, you know, was here, we came down as well, all at these same levels. And now it looks like we are coming down there again. So in the short term, maybe a little pain, but well, who knows. So if you look at your altcoins, I won't suggest, like, there are some are just popping, like they are going crazy. Sushi, for example, it had a run from like $1 all the way to 190, and now it finally resets. But you know, this might be support right here instead of resistance. So yeah, keep your eyes on that. Some altcoins I already have seen the bottom, I think, in my opinion, to be completely honest. But on the other hand, if you zoom out on these altcoin charts and you look at it like that, like where did Sushi come from? Like, what is this? Like, this is not much yet, right? It came from $23. Like, it's now 150. Like, what we're talking about right here. So it could be doing way better. So keep your eyes on this. I'm really curious to see how this week goes. That's all I have to say for now. So the video is slightly shorter than usual. I'm very proud of myself. If you have subscribed to the channel, please feel free to do so. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with my trading view video. Bye.